Good evening, colleagues. It is now 6 o'clock, and my name is Dr. Israel Krelino Mraudzi. I am from the University of Venda under the Faculty of Humanities, Social Sciences and Education, the Department of Professional and Curriculum Studies. So I am the one who will be directing the program tonight. And I will humbly request that Dr. R.M. Makwatana conduct the welcome and purpose of the webinar item. Over to you, Dr. R.M. Makwatana.
Thank you, Dr. Mraudzi and colleagues. Good evening. My role is to welcome all of us who made it into attending this webinar for tonight. And the purpose of this webinar is none other than empowering you with research knowledge, the how part of conducting research. If you continue to attend these sessions, by the end of it all, you will be empowered with knowledge as to how to go about your research processes. Thank you, Dr. Israel.
Thank you so much, Dr. Makwatana. I would like us to go through the program, the items that we will be conducting tonight, and also the ones that we will conduct in the future. So we are going to have crafting a winning research title and background item, and then that one will be led by Professor A.P. Kutame. And we will also have open engagements after his presentation. And there are also upcoming sessions that will be conducted in May 2025. So phase 1 will be Foundations of a Strong Research Proposal. And the 26th of April, we will have inaugural session that will talk to laying the group work, purpose, process, and participation. Then on the 3rd of May, we will have crafting a winning research title and background. The 10th of May, we will have aligning problem statement, research questions, and objectives. And the 17th of May, we will have conducting a literature review, search, strategies, synthesis, and identifying gaps. The 24th of May, we will have understanding research paradigms and choosing a research design. On the 31st of May, we will have theoretical and conceptual framework, bridging theory and practice. And at the end of this session, we will have a vote of thanks. Before any waste of time, we would call upon the presenter who will be presenting tonight. But before he presents, I would like to talk about him or introduce him so that after the introduction, he takes the podium. We have Professor Azudowi Philip Kutame, who is distinguished. He is a distinguished South African academic specializing in education, focusing on teacher assessment, professional development, and rural education. He served as a professor in the Department of Social Sciences, Education within the Faculty of Education at the University of Zululand, located in KwaNdlangezwa, KwaZulu-Natal. He is an emeritus professor at the moment, right at the University of Venda, Faculty of Humanities, Social Sciences, and Education. With over 4 decades of teaching experience, Prof. Kutame Emeritus has dedicated his career to enhancing the quality of education, especially in rural contexts. His doctoral research delved into methodologies for conducting sensitive research in educational settings. His academic interest encompasses evaluating teacher mental health, exploring its impact on teaching and learning quality, and assessing the role of community engagement in improving educators' lives in rural areas. Professor Emeritus Kutame has supervised numerous postgraduate students and contributed significantly to research on the educational challenges in rural South Africa. Notably, he co-supervised a doctoral study by Dr. Isi Mlauzi investigating the effects of teacher stress on learner academic performance in the Vhembe district. His scholarly work includes publications on the management of assessments for progress learners and strategies for enhancing school-based sexuality education in rural areas. Beyond his academic roles, Prof. Kutame has been instrumental in fostering collaborations between educational institutions. In April 2024, he led a delegation from the University of Zululand to the South Africa Nazarene University, SANU, to explore potential areas of cooperation. Prof. Kutame's extensive experience and commitment to education have earned him recognition, including being acknowledged for supervising multiple master's graduates at the University of Zululand's 2022 graduation ceremony. For more detailed information about his work and contributions, you can visit his profile on the University of Zululand's Research and Innovation page. So presently, I would like us to welcome Professor Emeritus A.P. Kutame, who will be giving us a keynote address under Crafting a Winning Research Title and Background. Over to you, Emeritus Professor A.P. Kutame. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Israel, for the introduction. I don't know where you got these things. Good evening, good people, colleagues, good evening. And I'm happy that we started last week as just an introduction. And today we are starting really with our sessions. Fortunately or unfortunately with some, they may have heard me presenting some of the things that I'm going to present here during the international level. When we were presenting, I was presenting to the Caribbean collaborators and other collaborators here in Mzansi. So today I said, well, I'm going to deal with this, crafting a winning research title and background, talking to you in particular because this is for you. This is crafted for you. But others from wherever are free to join. And as we are capacitating everyone who is interested in research, we have benefited from others when they were presenting. So others can also benefit from what we are doing. Now, I'm going to look at how you craft a winning title. And today, I just thought, as I will be presenting, there will be times when I will be calling you to say, how did what is your topic? And then the others will be listening. What is your topic? How did you come to that topic? And please, when I call upon you, you'll be the lucky one, because amongst more than 100 people, and you are just picked up to say, just tell us about how you picked up your topic, and you are assisted, on your topic on the spot as we will be talking. You will be the lucky one, and take it as, as something that is going to, as Dr. Makwatane has indicated, something that is going to capacitate you. So I'm going to stop sharing here, and then I will share what my presentation is going to give us. And also just again to remind you to please Tolakale mute and the others mute, so that we don't spend time telling you to mute. Okay, colleagues, let me share my presentation, and then yeah. Tell me, Israel, if you can see the project. I mean, the presentation. Is it on this? Can you see it?
Yes,
Colleagues?
I can see it. I can see it.
Colleagues, can you
Prof?
also see it?
Yes, Prof.
Thank you.
Yes, we can.
Thank you very much. Now, if you have started your study already, and you are still grappling with the topic, today, when we get out of here, you must go and refine if you have to. If it's refined, beat your chest with a big fist and say, yes, I've done it. Those of you who have already gone further, probably their proposal has been approved, and they are still doing chapter 2 and the others. As we are talking about this, look at it. See if there is a way in which you can refine it, because it is still going to go to the external examiners, who may, at the 11th hour, say, hey, we don't know how this topic went through. As I look at it as an external examiner, I see it doesn't make sense. And they tell you, they even refine it for you and suggest and say, go and do it this way. So as you are looking at the issues that we'll be talking to, think about your topic. Think about, how far you are with some of the issues that we are going to raise here. The next week, as you saw from the program that Dr. Mraudzi was presenting, you will see that Professor Samantha Govender from University of Zululand will be presenting, and the next step that you take after what I'm going to do here. Because I'm talking about choosing the topic and giving the background. And after the background, you will go to the problem statement, research questions, and research objectives, which will be the question for next week. And that other week, as one also correctly indicated, we are going to have Professor Zmiri to talk to you about how, literature review, how you are going to review literature, so that as we get to the next step, you are going step by step, refining your own proposal and moving forward. So what are those critical issues that I think, from my experience and from what I've seen, are critical when you are researching a topic. First, I'm saying this presentation will just outline the key factors. We can't do everything. Your research, is just too wide. But what we do here is to give you the pointers, something that will assist you as you move forward. So first, when you are looking at the topic, the first thing we look at is the relevance of the topic. Relevance to what? Relevance to what you want to conduct research on. What is it that you want to conduct research on? Well, we don't know. You are the one who knows. Which is why in one of the meetings I said to you, when you want to conduct research, you don't ask a topic from anyone. Instead, you do the topic yourself. You have to have your own topic, which will be relevant to what triggered you, which will be relevant to what provoked you, which will be relevant to what is it that you thought, this is what you're interested in, you want to research on this. That is what I'm talking about, the relevance. And again, it will be a topic that will be relevant to your context, to who you are, to your context, to where you are, to your context, to where you are residing, where you are, operating, where you are working, where you are always found. And you think that because this is where you are always, available, where you are always, residing, you have observed that this thing is, it's something that triggers your imagination, that triggers you to want to say, let me want to understand this. I want to understand this. And as you do that, then it will be relevant to what it is that you're going to do. It must also have academic relevance to fill a gap in literature. Now, immediately you see this sentence, it tells you that immediately you have something that triggers you, something that you say, I'm interested in this, something that you say, I want to understand this. This sentence tells you that you immediately go to literature, read a lot of literature. You can't read 5 references. You can't read 5 articles. You can't read 5, maybe, dissertations from previous studies. You can't read 5 researched, articles. And then you say, there is a gap. No. For you to identify that there is a gap, you must have gone through a lot of literature. Usually, I would say for PhD, but this is just my imagination. Don't ask me why I'm saying 50. I'm just thinking that probably if you go beyond 50 articles, which are related to what has triggered you, if you go and read those articles thoroughly, definitely by the time you come to the 50th or the more than 50th, you'll be having an idea that here, there's no one who is talking about this. And to do that, don't start reading the literature of 1900 going backwards. Start from the literature that is there now available, 2025. Start from that one, which will also indicate to you other literature in that topic. You move forward, backwards. You read backwards, it will be giving you articles. And in fact, if I were you, immediately I get this 2025 article about, which is very relevant to the topic that I'm doing. You know what I will do? I will attempt to go and get all those articles that are in that article, that were cited in that article. Read those articles, because it is possible that, this person, this, researcher may have understood or may have not understood, but you go and read them, not to read them, to understand them from this, but you go and go through them. And these articles, because they are too relevant, I'm just using the word too relevant, don't know whether it's relevant, too relevant to the topic that you are interested in. Can you hear me, guys? People,
Yes,
can you hear me?
we can hear you, Prof.
Oh,
Yes,
Yes,
Prof,
yes,
we can
yes,
hear
Prof.
you.
We can hear
because
you.
something has just happened. I don't know what has
Yes,
happened.
we
It's
can
fine.
hear you.
Okay, no, it's fine. So I was still saying, that is too relevant. Then you are able to see that as I go through this literature, there is this thing that is not being mentioned. All the literature is mentioning that, they found that, they established that, but there is this thing that is about things that have triggered me that I think no one is talking about. And that will then be a chance for you to say, oh, yes, there's a gap here. This is something that has not been established. This is something that has not been, been researched. Then you can go now, then you can attempt now to go and write your proposal and say, this is the proposal that I want to write in order to fill this gap, because literature, after I had, an idea, literature informed me about other things, but literature is silent on this. Or it is possible, when you are saying literature is silent on this, it is possible that there are one or two are saying something about it, but you are not convinced, and you are saying, I read so and so, I'm not convinced. I read the other one, I'm not convinced. Then you will be saying, yes, my study must focus on this, because this is the gap that I want to fill. Which means, as you are looking at the topic, you will go and read a lot of literature. Literature will inform you about the gap that exists, that is there in what you are doing. And if there is that literature, there is that gap, then you can boldly say, yes, I want to go and, conduct research on this. So it must have an academic relevance. Another thing, it must have societal relevance. In other words, it
Sorry,
must...
Prof. Sorry,
Yes.
Prof.
Yes.
We no longer see your presentation.
Okay. Yeah, there's something that happened and I don't know what happened. Let me just exit.
Um,
Let me
I
exit.
I don't know whether if you exit, you'll be able to hear me.
I can hear you. I can hear you, Prof. Let me try and put this and then you tell me. Is it there now?
Yes.
You can
And
see
some,
it.
yes, I can see it. And somebody is
Yes.
not muted. We can hear people who are having conversation in the background. Prof, I want to add something to academic relevance
Yes.
before we go too far.
Yes.
Sometimes students will register in the Department of English or English education,
Yes.
but then their title is looking at the management of school governing bodies, or they are
Yes.
registered in early childhood education department, and they want to look at the teaching of mathematics
Mhm.
in Pembe high schools. So I just want to emphasize the issue of relevance, that it's not just
Yes.
academic relevance, it's also
Yes.
discipline relevance. If you are
Yes.
registered in the discipline of leadership and management, your topic, your title should be linked and relevant to that department. If your study, your registration is in research methodology, you can't
Mhm.
come and research issues of teaching English in primary
Yes.
schools. We want to see your title pointing to the discipline that you are registered in. So your title should be issues of questionnaires, issues of research paradigms, issues of sampling, because your department is, your registration is in research methodology. So it's academic relevance plus discipline relevance. Make sure that you stick to the discipline that you are registered in. Thank you, Prof.
Thank you very much, Prof. Thank you. You know, just again to add to what you have said, I always say, if you remember when I started, I talked about context. And if I am a teacher and I deal with learners, I know very little about law. I know very little about health. I know very little about, things that have to do with mining. Therefore, when we talk about academic relevance, we are talking about, as Prof has indicated, Prof Ntombela has indicated, the relevance to fill the gap in literature in that context, in that area, in that discipline, so that you find yourself very, very relevant, moving forward. So that is very, very critical. In other words, your topic must have academic relevance. That is what she was talking about. Societal relevance. It must also respond to real world problems. Remember, as social science researchers, you will be dealing with social issues. Therefore, your topic must respond to real world problems, real world issues that you want to understand. It must also respond to policy relevance. And please, senior academics, where you want to fill in, like what Prof Ntombela has done, please get in and, let's move forward. Policy relevance. It can inform policy or influence policy. I will remember last year we had in KZN a conference where the Department of Basic Education in KZN was saying, we want to hear what researchers are saying about learner discipline, learner violence. And after that conference, where there were many people, speakers who were talking, after that conference, they went back and talked to their structures. And they had to somehow even, change the way they were doing things about learner discipline in schools, you know, with regard to how they were looking at things in schools. So I saw that as a very, very critical issue where some of the topics were looking at policy relevance. They were informing policy. They were influencing policy. So if you are looking at your topic, you who you are listening, look at that. Ask yourself, which gap am I going to fill? That's one of the questions. Another thing, which problem is this going to fill? That will be another thing. Is it going to influence policy? Disciplinary alignment, what Prof. Ntombela was, you know, emphasizing, it must be aligned to your discipline. It must match your field of study. That is where we'll talk about, for those of you, their colleagues who are here, they will talk about the niche area. What's your niche? What's your niche area? It must be aligned to discipline. You don't just write. And then, of course, if you just write, you'll also have problems with, you know, data collection. You'll have problems, I'm telling you. So it must have disciplinary alignment. The issue of clarity and focus. Your topic must be clear. It must be specific. It mustn't be double-barreled, ambiguous. And it mustn't be too broad, vague. Then people are asking questions. What are you talking about here? Once you see people, you know, frowning and they're asking questions, then you must know that your topic is not clear. And if they are talking about you, that their topic is not clear, don't just say, oh, it's not clear. Then they give you another topic. They will give you their topic. If you think you are clear, if you think you are clear in your topic, indicate that my topic is clear. This is what I'm talking about. Explain. You know, I had one student who was from another institution where she was, you know, doing this topic. And this topic was branded as it's not clear, it's not clear. Because the people who were listening were not clear about how clear the student was. And the student, you know, when we were, you know, having conversation with the student, then when I was saying, is this what you are referring to? She said, yes, this is what I'm referring to. So then we went on and talked, and you could see how clear that student was on that topic, that some people were thinking it was not clear, which when I started also, I thought it was not clear. So you know, I would say to you, have your topic. Because you'll have gone through literature, a lot of literature, of course, because you will be saying it is going to address a societal problem which we have identified, because you'll be saying, well, I think this is the best topic that I think, you know, is going to close a gap. Then show it, explain it. If you can't explain, then indicate that, hey, I can't explain, I'm not too sure. But then you fall prey of doing things that others will be saying, do this, and not what you want to do. So in other words, your topic must be clear. You must be able to clarify your topic. And as you are clarifying, by the way, in research, you don't just clarify it empty-handed. You know, in research, you clarify by clothing yourself. To clothe yourself meaning you say, according to this, they found out. According to this, you are backing yourself up with literature. Although, you know, as you back up yourself with literature, it is still possible that it is not well understood and you have to go back and do some more reading. So it must be clear. It must be specific. just avoid general topics like challenges in education. If you just say challenges in education, what are you talking about? Be specific, be clear. Don't be too broad. As it is, it's too vague. In other words, you must have focused topics. Here, I'll give you maybe other, examples, but I was just giving to say, if you are saying the impact of teacher support on grade 4 literacy, you are sure that you are going to look at the impact. It will just remain with others who will be saying, how are you going to measure impact? But because you will have, looked at your topic and you will have said, I'm going to do this topic. This is how I'm going to measure the impact. Then you will be able to say it because you are clear about your topic. You have read about this topic. You have seen others who conducted research in your area, who have used the ways to measure impact. And then you will say, well, I've seen so and so, seen so and so, I have read so and so, who measured impact based, who measured teacher support, the impact to measure, the impact of teacher support using 1, 2, 3. You will have indicated it because you have read it somewhere in literature. But by the way, as you are reading your literature, especially if you are doing, say, the articles, as you are reading the methodology, the introduction, that is where, and you'll move to the introduction, which will be giving you the background. And after that, it will also give you the methodology. So each time you are looking at this article, you are learning also, how did this person, conduct their research? How did they conduct their research? Which methodology, which methods, what did they do? How did they do it? You are learning that also. So please make sure that you know what you are talking about. Feasibility. Also look at access to participants or data. What was mentioned earlier on, Prof. Ntombela mentioned that it must be discipline specific. Now, it's not my discipline. I want to start now something about science. I have never done science. When I grew up, we only heard about this animal called mathematics. Then we're doing arithmetic. And when we heard about this method, they would say, hey, there is this thing called mathematics. Hey, what is this mathematics? Now, when I heard that there is this thing called mathematics, then I want to research about mathematics. Do you think I'll make it? Or right now, they are talking about blood pressure. Blood pressure, which is, an issue in our lifestyle, in our health. And then I know nothing about blood pressure. All that I know is when I go to see a doctor or a nurse, you just give your arm, they put a band here, and they pump, and thereafter they release it. You don't even see those numbers. You don't even know what those numbers mean. But I want to conduct research on that. And I want to collect. Do you think the data will be, that I collect will be real? Will I be able to get data? So, and the access to those participants. But if I am a nurse, I'm from the health sector, and I'm doing health, related issues. When I'm talking about issues of, blood pressure, those are the issues that I work with on a day-to-day basis. If I want to conduct data from those participants, from those patients, if I have the permission to do that. Israel, can you check with who is doing this, please?
Okay, Prof.
Yeah, okay. So, if I'm from a health practitioner and I'm looking at blood pressure, issues of blood pressure and so on, it will be easy for me if I got permission from the patients to use them as participants and collect data from them. It's easy. Access is easy. So when you're choosing your topic, think about access. Will I be able to get to these people? If I follow this topic, if it's about learners, I'm a teacher. Oh, it's easy. I'll get to the learners. But if it's about learners and I'm a nurse, the road to the learners will be difficult. But think about that. Think also about the time frame and scope of suitability. Is it a longitudinal study? If it's longitudinal study, will I have the patience? Will I have time? Because, all I need is in 1 or 2 years, I must be done with my master's. In 2 or 3 years, I must be done with my PhD. And you go for a longitudinal study. Will it be, is it going to help you? Is the scope suitable? Scope also goes hand in hand with, the context. Is it suitable? Will the resources be available? If you say you want to conduct research in South Africa, will you be able to go to the whole of South Africa? Will you be able to go to the whole of Vhembe district? It's big. Vhembe is big. Kinkachayo district is big. Johannesburg district is big. Do you have resources? Do you have the tools? Do you have the funding? Think about that also before you finalize with your topic. In other words, yes, you have the topic, but think about that. Ethical clearance possibility. Will I be able to get, clearance to collect data from these participants? Or am I going to have problems? Ethical clearance possibility. Is there a possibility of getting, clearance on issues about ethics? Think about that possibility. Let's say, for example, we want to conduct research with young children. Your topic has to do with young children. And for young children, they are not yet 18. You have to get permission from even their parents. Will it be possible? Think about that also. Is it researchable? Can this topic be studied using a systematic process? If, for example, you say you want to study, issues about the space station, and you know nothing about issues about astronomy or whatever, will it be able to? If we look at the systems, that you have to go through in order to study that, will it be possible? Does it allow for empirical investigation? Of course, there will be those who will be doing non-empirical studies. But think about that also, to say mine will be empirical. Empirical meaning I'm going to go out, engage with participants or respondents, collect data, come back and analyze it. That's empirical. Or you are saying it's non-empirical, where you are not going to go out. Instead, you are going to depend on other researchers' tools, or maybe to look at, review literature, review books, and so on, non-empirical. But you must think about that as you are taking a topic. Is it not purely philosophical? It may be very philosophical. Some may choose it to do it that way. I used to read literature by Yusuf Wahid. Very philosophical. He will not go out to collect data, but his studies are quite philosophical. So what will yours be? Is it researchable? Align your topic with the paradigms and the correct methodology. You are not just choosing. You see, here I'm talking about the topic. As you are looking at yours, say you must be asking yourself questions. Yes, you are writing something down there to say, to which paradigm is my study going to be aligned? If you have done that already, to which paradigm is my study aligned? If you are already in the middle of it, think back and say, is my study aligned to a paradigm? If I never mentioned it, what must I do now? Yes, go back and mention it, because it must be aligned to a paradigm. Why am I saying going back? Because it is not going to end in your hands. It is not going to end in your hands and your supervisor. It is going to go out. And where it is going, they will ask you questions. This topic of yours, to which paradigm is it aligned? This methodology does not align with this paradigm. How did you do it? If you want to be a deviant and you want to misalign this paradigm this methodology to another paradigm, then it means you have to dig deep to explain that I'm now being a deviant. You'll have to dig deep and explain very deeply. But simple, align your topic with a paradigm and a relevant methodology. For example, you might have interpretivism as your paradigm, where you are saying, I want to understand after listening to stories, or after reading what has been written, I want to understand. Or if you are a positivist, where you are saying, well, I believe in going out, give questionnaires. They must respond to what I've asked. Then they will bring it back and I'll analyze. Then after analyzing, I publish, because I'm positivist. And what I publish is the real, evidence is scientific. You are a positivist. Or you are saying, I'm a pragmatist. I want to understand first. After understanding, I go back and conduct questionnaires, give out questionnaires, and listen to what stories I had and what stories I said respond to what I'm saying respond to, and I've seen how many have responded in this way, and then I bring it together. I'm a pragmatist. I'm using both qualitative and quantitative. In other words, it must align. When you start, you will be saying, I'm going to explore. If you're exploring, of course, you will need and you'll need to understand. You'll need to interpret, because we are exploring. Or you may even explore. After exploring, after getting some things, then you go and mix with, some stories, some results from the questionnaires, and then you bring them together there as a pragmatist, and then you say, now this is what I understand. So your topic must align. It must fit qualitative, quantitative. It must also fit all mixed methods. You choose. And when you choose, you have reasons, which is why if you are saying, I'm going to interpret, to be an interpretivist, to understand people's stories, qualitative, you will explain why. If you're going for positivism, you are quantitative, you explain why. If you are a pragmatist, you are using both mixed methods, you will explain why. So it's important that as you are, choosing your topic, it is important that you align your topic with a paradigm and methodology. Your topic must also lead to clear and suitable research design. So when, by the time you get to the research design and everything, you have already chosen, you already know, because the topic you chose, points you to this paradigm. The topic you chose leads you to this method. The topic you chose leads you to this type of design. And that you have done when you are still looking at the topic. In other words, the most difficult part of research, that's according to me. Of course, we have different views. According to me, the most difficult is the choice of the topic and giving us that background, which that background will be directing, leading you to say, this is the paradigm, this is the methodology, and this is the design. It will be leading you to that. And where did you get all this? From the literature. Which means that literature, for now, if you haven't done a lot of literature, guys, go and make sure that you read a lot of literature. So that next week when Prof. Govender will be talking about the problem statement, even if we pick you up, we point you and say, come, tell us, then you'll be able to tell us and say, yeah, this I did because of 1, 2, 3. You will be able to. It must contribute to knowledge. Contribute to knowledge means if you identify a gap, your results must go and fill that gap. And when your results fill that gap, you are contributing to knowledge. You are contributing to say, people did not know this. I'm informing them based on the results of the data I collected. And you will be contributing to knowledge. You will be saying, this was not there. I have gone through literature, and literature never mentioned anything about this thing. And I asked the questions about this thing, and all the answers I got have pointed me to this. I see Prof. Gamede's hand. Prof. Gamede?
Good evening, Prof. and colleagues.
Go ahead. Yes, go ahead.
Yes, Prof. I like it when I'm looking at the paradigms, more especially when talking about the mixed method. I would say maybe to colleagues or to the students, when choosing a mixed method, sometimes you need to say which type of the mixed method you are starting with on, so that people understand whether it is exploratory or experimentary or convergent, so that you know that if they say it's a mixed method, it becomes a problem. But they must say which type of the mixed method. Then we start with this one, then continue this one. I think that is very important. That is my take.
Thank you very much, Prof. Exactly, because you are not just going to choose, and you are not advancing. You choose, and what is also important to add to what Prof. Gamede said, you choose and also indicate why you are choosing that methodology and cut it down to the last one, because if you just say mixed method, You have not yet said anything. Go down and say which type of mixed method, under which design, and then you move forward. Right. Sorry. Okay. So your whatever you are saying must contribute to knowledge. It must advance theory, practice, and policy. That I have mentioned already. Your study must also offer practical recommendations. At the end of your study, you are going to do this, but your topic must be one that in the end you will do that. It must also have benefits to some stakeholders. Could be teachers, could be policymakers, could be municipality workers, it could be municipality administrators. It depends. Of course, this is also important. Personal interest and expertise. You must be interested in the topic that you want to research on. Because if you are not interested, you will do what others will be saying. You will just float. And all the time you will feel bored, even to go to the field, because it's not something that you are interested in. So you must also have expertise, which is why I liked what Prof said earlier on, that please make sure that it must be discipline specific, so that your expertise comes in. You cannot be an expertise if you are not going to do something that you are not very much knowledgeable about. You must be interested in, for example, I am a teacher. I love teaching. I am now a researcher. I love research. So if there is anything that has to do with teaching and research, I love it. And if you invite me to that, I will come quickly. But if you invite me to come to go and watch soccer, I will tell you, I don't want to go and watch people working, because they are working and I'm just seated. And yeah, so it will depend on the interest. And yes, of course, expertise I had then, but I failed to make it to the first league because I failed at the preliminary leagues, so I could not make it. So it must match the topic, the student's career goals and experience, your niche area. We have mentioned this. And it must spark passion and curiosity. You must be curious. You must be wanting to say, hey, there's something that I want to know. And it must be within your capacity, within your skill to do it. You must be able to do it. Don't go and do something that you can't. Because when you fail, you'll just be failing and people will be laughing at you. Of course, in academia, the good thing about academia is, even if people have to laugh at you, when you have written something, they will have to laugh at you by writing their own and publish it. That's how they can laugh at you. But there's no way. So it must be within your capacity as a student and skill to do it. Don't trust anyone to do it for you. There are common pitfalls that you must avoid. Don't be too ambitious. Don't be merely descriptive. There's no analysis. You are just describing, no analysis. Repetitive of existing work without innovation. And this will just be indicating that you did not do your research. You did not go and read a lot. Lacks theoretical and conceptual grounding. As you will be reading your literature, check also which theories did these people use? What did they use? Which theory did they come up with? Which concepts is the study grounded on? Learn from there so that as you go now to yours and say, yeah, I think I like that style. Oh, but I think that one says it better. Then you go and learn from that, and it will make it better. This is just a checklist. Is your topic real world relevant? Is it clearly focused? Are you going to be able to conduct it feasible? Is it researchable? Is it aligned with paradigm and method? Or is it going to give any contribution to knowledge? Is it going to engage me as a researcher? Or is it that's just something that I want to do and get my results? Quickly, what is it that you write? Now you have a topic. After having a topic, just five minutes, after having a topic, make sure that you place your research question. No, not this one. Yes. Oh, yes. Place your research question. What it is that you want to understand in a current hot area. Or if it's an older area, you must make sure that, well, this area still remains viable. Provide just a brief, short, but historical backdrop. Thirdly, provide the context, contemporary or the current, where you want to propose your research. What is it? Is it based on something that is contemporary? Or is it based on something that is current? Identify the key players. Who are going to be the key players here? Who are going to be the key players? Keep in mind that when you are writing your background, you are telling a story to an audience. Therefore, do not bore them. Your story must be interesting. Because if you bore them, they reject your proposal before they even start. Don't bore them. You are telling this story of something that triggered you, and you wanted to find out, because literature tells you that there's a gap. And then state how you became aware of that existence of the problem. You know, I was just reading quickly, 2 minutes. I was just reading one study where this person is saying, just listen to how this person is saying, research motivation. When this study, this scholar was motivating their study. He says, this study has been inspired, the study that he was doing, by my profound appreciation for the transformation abilities that research has in changing people's livelihoods. This appreciation does not only stem from my profession as a research administrator, but also from personal experience with researchers that highlight critical importance of research culture. Then the student went on to say, throughout the 12 years I spent, and then goes on and on and on. And when this student went on to end the paragraph, the last paragraph of the background, the student says, the above experiences and observation have compelled me to firstly establish how and to establish, and all this is given after a lot of literature which was backing up the experiences of this person. Now, going to the problem statement, I will not go there because I will spoil next week's, presentation. Let me just, Sarah Ekolo from Uganda. Hey. Prof. Okelo, I'll come back to you. I'm still in a class. I'll come back to you just now. It's one of my contributors in Uganda. I'm sorry. So these are the things that you must include in your background. Briefly describe the major issues and sub-problems to be addressed in your research. Mention those in your background and identify the key variables in your study. And then, what is it that you want to study? What is it that you want to analyze? What is your unit of analysis? Because you have now reviewed a lot of studies, you must come and mention all those things. So these are the things that you need to give whilst you are trying to give your background. The examples, there are just few examples which Timuso will send this to you, and then you will read the examples. But most of the things that I wanted to say here, I have said. Back to you, Dr. Mraudzi.
Thank you so much, our Emeritus Professor A.P. Kutame. I believe this presentation was an eye-opener, and I was chatting privately with my students. Now they understand why I asked them about their area of specialization. And yeah, so it was indeed an eye-opener. And I would also give thanks to, I don't know if it's Prof. Sitabile as Ntombela. He was responding to some of the questions that students are writing in the chat. So we are grateful, indeed grateful for that. And presently, I'm opening this time for questions and comments. If you have questions, please raise up your hand. The unfortunate part is I can't see the because of the document that is shared. I can't see all this.
Let me unshare. Let me stop sharing.
Okay, thank you so much, Prof. Anyone with a question or comment?
If they don't have, I'll ask them questions.
One small
Tebogo, I can see Tebogo there. Tebogo
Yes.
Ramala.
Yes, thank you so much. This is really informative, and I really appreciate so much, and especially the last part, because I think in all of my studies that I did, my voice is not there. And this is really very much important for me, because I would go to literature, and after all the literature, I wouldn't say my voice to say, in my viewpoint or how I see things, this is what I'm thinking. So I really appreciate this, because I'm collecting all the information, all the background, but I don't have any conclusion to say, now, in my view, this is my way forward. That's really, for me, I appreciate. Thank you.
Thank you, Tebogo.
Thank you so much. Can we have Moelera Mtambi?
Murweli. Oh, okay, Mwelelo. All right, fine.
Elelo.
Yeah, thank you.
Hi, thank you. So thank you, Prof. Thank you, Dr. Mraudzi. Very informative webinar. When you were speaking, I was actually re-looking at my research topic, and I'm being told that I've chosen quite a good one, but I'm struggling right now because I'm looking for the literature and I've only found about like 2 master's dissertations and 3 articles. I'm not saying the literature is not there. I obviously have to dig a little deeper, but I'm more interested in how I remember Prof said something about policy relevance, how my research is going to how will it impact policy? Will it change it? And I'm thinking, how will I know when my research is actually considered to, change policy? You said it must be academically relevant, socially relevant, and policy relevant. Have there actually been any changes done by the department based on the myriad of research that has been done by people in the education field that have actually gone and changed the, let's say, specific CAPS document on a subject? Because my focus is on pedagogical strategies in a certain subject that contribute to readiness when they move on to the next phase for a certain subject. And the CAPS document do not seem to change, and yet there's this amount of research that has already been done. I just want to know when is that gap closed between the time I have done my research and published it and the department are aware of it and they have to implement the change, or are they even obligated to change it? I know it's a lot of questions and my questioning is a little bit haphazard, but these are just all the questions that are bouncing around in my head because I want to make sure that it fits the relevance. My research topic fits all the relevant categories, academically, socially, and policy relevant. Thank you.
Let me just deal with it immediately to say I gave you an example of what happened in KZN, where they were having problems with, although it was not curriculum issue, but it was a societal issue, where they had problems with school violence ongoing until they said, can research inform us? Because there is a lot of research conducted on learner violence, school violence. There is a lot of research conducted. Can research inform us? And fortunately, I was one of those who, together with others from UNISA and UNIZULU, we came together, and presented papers after going to all the research done on the topic. And after going to all the research done, not all, but most of the research done on the topic, then we come up with findings and we informed the department. And the department had to go and implement those. We tried to find out, and indeed we found that they were implementing that, which means even in curriculum, depending on who is leading curriculum, and they are aware of issues and they trust science, they will go to science and say, science, how does science inform us on this? Say, for example, here, as we are listening, some of you are in government. Now, if you are in government, the question that we might be asking is, are things going well in government? Don't you think that there is research out there done about what is happening? Can't you use that research? For example, there is a lot of research done on SGB, school governing bodies. Who have ever used the results? Because, by the way, once it is published, it's scientific. If you are still having it, it's not scientific. But once it goes out there in the web, you are saying, this is the research I conducted. You may, and then after this, I want you to know that this is happening. Well, another thing, wherever, it's caused by us. When we ask for ethical clearance certificate, we always write somewhere that at the end, we will come to you to give you results. How many of you go back and give all those results? Immediately you get there, you make those results yours and you never go back. And they will not know. They think that your study is still going on and on and on. Probably I would say to you, if you want your study to matter, go back to those who gave you ethical clearance. Can I have another question?
Mulweli Mulidzi.
Thank you so much. And thank you for such an insightful and an eye-opener of a presentation. And as someone who's just beginning their journey of research, there's so much that I've learned, and I believe that there's so much more that I'm yet to learn. And I'm one of the people that were in the chat who were asking questions about the topic as well. And I just wanted to find out, because I believe that this one session is not enough to cover just the topic itself. So I just wanted to ask, is there a way where we could consult someone? Because I'm saying this because I've not yet met with my supervisor. I'm not even sure who the supervisor is. So I just wanted to find out from you guys if even the university does have that program or that space where students can come and receive help, because I believe there's so much that I'm yet to learn. There's so many new terms that I'll have to go and actually sit down and go through, because this was actually my first time hearing those terms. I'm not sure if my question is clear. It's not really a question, but really a plead for help.
No, I can see it's a plea for help. And indeed, you need help with the supervisor. You know, yesterday someone came here and he was also saying he doesn't have a supervisor. Last week, we had people who deal with that, who promised that they will go and deal with that. Timusho, can those who don't have supervisors send you their names and then you give them to the people responsible, Timusho?
Yes, Prof. They should send the details to me. I will write my email address on the chats.
All right. Thank you very much, Timusho. So those who don't have supervisors, please go to Timusho. Timusho will write, will give you on the chat, he will give his email address and write to him to indicate you are at this level, you don't have a supervisor, and so on and so forth, so that you are all assisted, because this is for you to assist you.
Professor, can I
Yes.
come in?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I'm using somebody's gadget.
Oh,
It's Dr.
Dr. Chitskwa, I can see. It's fine.
Yeah, let all those who are in professional and curriculum studies contact me, because there is no one who doesn't have a supervisor as for now. Thank you. It might happen that maybe their supervisors have not yet contacted them, but I conscientize them on, I think on Monday, to say, please guys, let us let our student know that we are their supervisors. Thank you, Professor.
Thank you very much. So, colleagues, let's do our part and inform those that we have been allocated to. Thank you very much, Dr. Chitskwa.
There's
Another.
There's a Manyoro whose hand has been up for a long time.
Manyoro.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Prof, for allowing me this chance. And thank you for the presentation. It's an eye-opening presentation. I loved what you said about the feasibility of the study. You can't be in the field of education and then want to investigate things in the nursing department, in the health department. Thank you so much. But mine is also a concern. It's a concern for, I'm one of those learners who were locked out from the system before they could register. And in the previous, not last week, the other week, they spoke about how it's going to be dealt with. And as for now, I have not registered, but it was up to Dr. Baloyi to get our list to the respective school administrators, but I have not been registered. And it's an issue because I can't, at the IT department, they can't seem to reactivate my folder email. So this means I can't get most of the communication since we get them through the student email, but it can't be activated until I'm registered. So please follow up on that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Manyoro. I don't know whether Prof. Runara will put you on the spot, or maybe should we say those who have that should give their names to Timusho, or Dr. Baloyi, are you here to respond to that? Prof. Runara, I see you are there, you are breathing.
Thank you, Prof, and good evening, fellow colleagues and students. We are really enjoying this, discussion, and we are learning. Learning does not end. Don't think that as a student you are the only one learning. We are also enjoying and follow up. I want to specifically respond to the issue of registration. The matter was tabled at the EMC Executive Management Committee of the university, which includes the registrar, the vice chancellor and principal, and both deputy vice chancellors, and Professor Francis, who is the deputy vice chancellor for research and postgraduate studies, presented the matter. I have already received his communication on the request for the registration of those who have not yet registered. This matter was sent to all the faculty deans. Let me say I am studying it because it involves different categories of students, those who are first time, those who are coming back to register for the second year, and also those who are in what we call non-aligned, those who have exceeded their period of study. So there are many categories. I've seen the email just now. He sent it in the evening. I'm studying it, and also I'm going to share the information with the faculty manager, Dr. Baloyi, who will share it also with the deputy dean, Professor Mashau, for implementation. So you'll be informed. I think, let me say, by Monday, we will try to study and come up with, an approach to how we can make everyone understand what has been agreed in your situation. If you are first time entering, non-aligned, or you are a student who is trying to apply for readmission, or you are coming to register for the second, third, or so forth, but you have not met the due date for registration. So the matter covers all the categories. We are going to inform you by Monday. Thank you so much, Prof.
Thank you. Thank you. Israel, can take another
Thank
one.
you.
And
May we have Ruzani Shuping, please? Ruzani.
Hello. Thank you very much, Professor Kutame, for the information. It was very informative, and thank you for everybody who has been organizing this. This is very good. My question is about the topic. It's like, at first, okay, I'm in the beginning process of trying to put together the proposal for the PhD, but initially I had a topic about, let's say, like, for example, return to office. But then I discouraged myself thinking, right now it is an issue, but then by the time I'm done with my PhD, it might not be an issue. So how do you, when you have a topic, how do you think about things like that, that the topic I'm studying might be relevant now, but it might not be relevant in the next few years? So what I did, I tried to change and put in like a topic around artificial intelligence, because it is something that's happening now, but I'm just concerned about that part. That is that something to worry about, or once you pick a topic, you must pick a topic about it's relevant at this moment? Not sure if that is clear enough.
No, I think it's clear enough. I can hear and I think I understand what you're trying to say. That, it's like these other topics where, for example, we had COVID-19. People were researching on COVID-19 and they are not sure whether COVID-19 will ever come back, but they researched it in order to understand. So it means whilst something is an issue now, as I indicated when I started, it may not be an issue next time. But if it may not be an issue next time, but it will have assisted us to understand that in case it happens again, then we'll have a way of dealing with that issue, because we'll be having evidence. And by the way, it will also be informing others that there once was this, and this is how it was handled, and this is how it affected lives or societies. Because we cannot say, because we think, because those are assumptions. You're thinking it may not be useful next time. Those are just assumptions. It may be useful even next time, and it may remain relevant because it is topical for now. So don't be afraid to go and tackle it. I have come across, for those who are in teaching, will remember the issues of Anna. When Anna was introduced, and say then it came to an end. I had a student who started issues about Anna, and by the time he completed, Anna was no longer. But he had to go back and look at what were the lessons we learned, so that in case something like Anna comes, then it must no longer. So the issue of AI, for example, you may think it's something that is for now. It has been there many, many years. And you cannot say, well, it is just for a short time, it will end. So continue. If that topic is in your heart and it's topical, continue researching on it and make sure that within a very short space of time, you finish your study. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
Prof.
very much.
May we have Rulani? Rulani Chauke?
Yes, Doctor. A greeting to the board, the greeting to Prof. My question it goes to Prof. Runero regarding some modules without the instructors or the lecturers. We have the modules without the lecturers, and we are approaching exams now for honors.
Sorry, program director. I think some of the questions are not related to
They're not
research.
relevant
I suggest that you create another forum where students can air these concerns or they can stay behind. Let us close this session so that they can continue with matters that concern them internally.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
very much.
much. Thank you so much. Let's ask relevant questions to what was presented, please. And may we have Takal? How many more should I take, Prof?
Maybe it's almost to past now. Maybe you can take the hands that are there. And
Okay, I can see Takalani and Shinabona. May we have Takalani
and Busisiwe.
and Busisiwe? Okay.
Okay, thank you so much, colleagues, and good evening, everyone. Prof, so when you were presenting, I was actually going through my document and I reviewed some of the comments that I got. I'm a bit confused now. So especially on the issue of background. So when I was writing my document, I indicated, I related the story and also indicated maybe why it's relevant and the contributions therefore that it will make. And one of the comments that I got is that I'm mixing the background and problem statement. And now I feel my document, I've told the story and it's hanging. And for somebody to understand it, they have to go read under the problem statement on what exactly I'm trying to bring forth. So I'm a bit confused there because now the story is there, but it's hanging. I'm not telling anyone, like for somebody who might read the background to say, okay, you are telling us the story, then what? So I'm stuck on that question to say, how do I then strike the balance of, I don't know, maybe it might be, I'm caught up between the style of writing, maybe this in this context specifically from what I know previously. So my story is just there, but it's hanging.
Thank you very much. With that, as you had the question, I mean, the last paragraph that I read about the student who started by talking about the experiences and then went on to talk about, to go and read a lot of literature backing up the experiences. And in the end, I said, this was the last paragraph, which says, the above experiences and observation have compelled me to firstly establish how. You are referring back to what you said in the previous one, so that when you go to the problem statement, you will state the problem. Whereas here you are saying, this is what I'm going to do. But in the problem statement, you will state the problem, which is a follow-up to the background. The background is just laying the foundation. It is leading you to, this is the problem. And to do that, it means you must have read, you must give your experiences, if it's about related to experience, back it with literature. And then in the last paragraph, you now move towards directing your reader to what you want to do, to state the problem. If, as you know, if you read the literature, the articles, where they give you the introduction or rationale or the background to the study, go and look at the last paragraph. See how they wrap it up. And as you read how they wrap it up, it will sort of, educate you or teach you to say, if I have given the background, backed it with literature, how do I move towards saying, well, this is what I want to do, and you don't tell us what the problem is. But then when you get down to the problem statement, you now go and state the problem, because above you have introduced that this is what I'm going to do. I don't know whether I have answered you.
You
Oh,
have, Prof. I think I have clarification now because I had that concluding statement.
Yes.
But then I was advised to remove it and add it into the problem statement. Hence, I was quite worried to say, okay, I have literature backed everything. But then for someone who's reading, because sometimes I try to read my work as an outsider of it, to say, okay, let me revisit maybe to see where I'm going wrong. And I'm just uncomfortable with it. Sorry, apologies for the noise behind. I have small kids. So now the statement was just left, it's bare. I have all the literature, I'm backing up everything, then what? So for
Then-
somebody to understand, they have to go to problem statement.
So they have to go to the problem because you will say, this is what I'm going to do. And when you say, this is what you are going to do, you end there. Then why are you going to do this? What is the problem? Then you say the problem. Because you are not stating you are you are saying, well, this was my experience. This is what I experienced. And because I experienced this, I want to understand this. Okay. Why do you want to understand this? What is the problem? Then underneath, you state the problem.
Well answered.
All right. Can I
Okay,
get the next one?
Thank you. Busisiwe, and the final one will be Temuso. The last one. Busisiwe.
Okay. Good evening, Prof. And my colleagues. Thank you very much for this opportunity. And thank you very much, Prof, for a very informative, a very informative meeting that we
Class
just
or
had.
meeting, whatever,
Sorry.
yes.
Yeah. I'm sorry for that.
No,
Prof,
continue.
yes, I'm one of the master's students this year at the university. And mine is just a comment and contribution on what the Prof has said about the feasibility in choosing the topic. Yeah. So in that, Prof, I found myself ticking all the boxes which you had in the presentation about the topic and the feasibility of the topic. And that your topic must have a personal interest and expertise. By that, it will prompt you and give you that more information, prompt you in researching more about the topic. Thank you very much for that, Prof. In that, I just wanted to contribute on the new students that this presentation is very informative and we mustn't take it for granted. And lastly, is to check whether how possible for us to get these slides that Prof was presenting about. Thank you very much, Prof.
Thank you. Timosho, you can hear, you send them, and I can also indicate that please, with students, make sure that you are registered and not registered. I mean, your emails are linked. You know, with students, mostly when it is sent to the university students, some we don't know their email addresses.
Student email?
Yes, student email will be best because that is what Timosho will always be sending to. And that is what also, you know, Prof. Gamede, we also send to the clusters. In fact, Timosho has already set up clusters, and once they are in clusters, then it will be easy. Okay, Israel?
Temuso?
Yes, Dr. Mlaus and Prof. Kutame, thanks. Actually, I wanted to bring that to students that we have sent the evaluation form so that they can, not evaluation form, I'm sorry. The evaluation form is what I was busy with now. I will send it to students in order to tell us about the session. But then just to go back to the issue of supervision, we have sent a form so that the students, those who don't have supervisors, can fill the form. So what we have realized is that many of students, as Prof. Kotame said, they have not yet activated their students' email. So supervisors have been trying to reach out to those students, and they were not able to get to them due to that matter. So we're urging all students to activate their students' email so that they can communicate smoothly with their supervisors. And I am confident that many students have supervisors. It's just a matter of them activating the student account, student's email, and checking up with the relevant department. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. We have Smangolwa. I think this one will be the very last one. Thank you, Smangolwa. It's your time.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. My name is Terence Mangolwa, a student studying a master's with Rhodes University. I just wanted to offer my words of gratitude to the facilitators and presenters on this group. I joined this group last year and I've been following, and I was very keen with research. So through interaction here, my proposal has been approved, and I have a very good sense of understanding when it comes to research. Thank you very much. I still come back here and also learn more. I have my proposal done, but each time I see any session, I come close and listen. So thank you very much for the knowledge.
Thank you. Thank you very much for the compliments, Terence, and keep moving and keep enjoying. Know that, remember, you are using the same link throughout the year up to December. We're using every Saturday this time. Yes. Thank you, Israel. Thank you. I'm done.
Thank you so much for the informative presentation, Prof. And some of us are doctors because of these presentations, and we have learned and gained a lot from these presentations. Now, the program that was shared earlier on have got dates as I went through the whole program. And please note that all the dates and topics for next sessions are in the program. And in terms of the link, we will be using the same link throughout. And I would humbly request that Takarani Chidiro, my colleague, please say a few words for vote of thanks.
Is that me? Sorry.
Yes.
So sorry, can I just attend a meeting? I'll get back to you. Okay, thank you. Now I'm conflicted. Sorry. Can I just finish? Sorry. Apologies for the noise. I'm attending with my little ones. So yeah. Thank you so much to Dr. Mlaudzi for facilitating or rather leading the discussion, and with Prof. Kutame. I cannot thank you enough, to be honest, not as a staff member, but as a student. I'm learning so much from these sessions. And I hope I'm not the only one, even fellow students. We are learning so much because when you're presenting, we get to go back to the document and try to find out what is happening and try to compare where one can improve and so forth. Because now when you're talking about the issues of topic, be it its methodology and so forth, you go back and try to check if whatever I put there, does it align with the topic? And be it is maybe the background, am I talking back to the topic or now? Oh, sorry. Yeah, but with that said, because I saw as well in the inbox or the chat box, people were asking questions and some were being engaged and answered. With that said, colleagues, thank you so much. We are truly appreciative of that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. This brings us to the end of this session, and let's meet next week. Thank you and good night.
Thank you.
Good
Bye.
night.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Prof. Kutame. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Lungi.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I don't even want to leave the meeting. I feel like I will miss something out. Thank you, Prof.
You won't miss anything. Go home. I'm going home also.
Hello, Prof.
Thank you. Thank
For
you.
the wonderful
Hello, Prof.
presentation.
Thank you, Prof.
Okay.
Maluleke, do you still want to ask something? Your hand is up.
Hello.
No, I just wanted to thank the Prof for such an informative session. Thank you so much, Prof. My Prof. Kutame, who also happens to have been my former high school teacher. Thank you.
Wow.
Hello.
Yay.
Hello.
Judy?
Yeah, Judy, I had issues with my network. I'm in Ghana. I'm doing my PhD with KwaZulu-Natal, University of KwaZulu-Natal. I have missed a lot and I'm really worried. I have sent my email address through the chat box. I wish I can get the slides from Prof. I will be very, very happy. I'm hoping that the consequent ones, I will really be on time to be able to follow. This is my very first time, but even though I joined 20 minutes ago, it's very interesting. I'm so grateful to Prof.
Thank you so much. The slides will be sent, Judy.
That would be excellent. I can't wait to receive them. Thank you so
Okay.
much. I'm so happy
Thank
to be
you.
part of this team.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay. Good night.
Good night.